Hey everybody, hope you're well. So we have a little list here of things that we've been doing during lockdown, and we wanted to do a little, we wanted something as a little sort of memento, didn't we?
Just going to kind of recap the last couple months just for our own memory's sake, since this has been quite an unusual, unique time that we've all been living through, haven't we? So.
Obviously, in the last video we told you about, well, the last proper video was Oscar. We had a little video that we put up for Amelia's birthday. But now what we could do is, so first of all, we've got on here on our list, we've got supermarkets. So that was one of the first things that we noticed became a big issue during lockdown was supermarkets.
The panic buying.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to remember loo roll. Did you have enough loo roll into the beginning of lockdown?
We got lucky, didn't we? Because we actually had loo roll, didn't we?
We did. We were okay.
Yeah.
We were okay. But it was funny, wasn't it? Like, we can show a little clip here of just how empty the supermarkets were. Like, you remember everyone just, obviously, as things started to kind of filter through with the news and that people were going to be made to stay home, everyone panicked. I think it showed a lot of people's kind of true colors, didn't it?
I know. And a lot of things
crazy.
went that you didn't think would be missing. Like if in the event of like a disaster or something, you know, you didn't think that some of the things that went missing from the shelves would have been like on your number one priority.
Yeah, but loo roll was definitely like pasta or anything like that, just like gone, bare shelves. Some things did seem a little bit worrying because things like medicine, there wasn't like any paracetamol or anything like that. So you started to get, everyone I think felt it and was subject to it in some way or another. You did kind of panic, even though you were trying to be reasonable, and the government and everyone else was trying to reassure everyone there was enough food for everyone just needs to be sensible, but you couldn't help but kind of feed into it when you were in the store, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna grab as much as I can. So we did stock up, and we were always fine, weren't we?
Yeah, we were fine, and we did like once a week a little top up shop.
We gave up ever trying to get the delivery, right?
Yeah, we could never get a slot
to get the delivery. That would have been ideal.
We tried all of the supermarkets as well. We couldn't find any.
Some of them you couldn't even get onto their website, so it was crazy. But,
and rightfully so. They also made it so that the elderly people and also people who are working as key workers
like priority.
were able to have priority. Yeah, that was.
But
good.
it actually worked out fine. So we just took it in turns, and just one of us went once a week. But yeah, that kind of leads on to the supermarket. So the things we want to remember are that, first of all, you know, the social distancing was the first thing, you know, so definitely 2 meters apart. So there were queues. Thankfully, this has again eased up and things are back to kind of, you know, a reasonable normal. But it was long waits.
It was long waits. Okay, for the record, it is Saturday, the 28th of March, 2020. And this is what it looks like in the supermarkets, or rather outside the supermarkets, due to this coronavirus. So I'm not sure if you can see, but there are people queuing about 2-3 meters apart of each other, and Amry is down there somewhere as well. I think she's over there in the queue. So they have to wait to be able to go in because they're limiting the numbers of people to be able to go get their food shopping in Sainsbury's. So yeah, that is interesting. What do you guys think about this whole situation? What do you think about the whole coronavirus thing? Are you worried by it?
No.
Are you pleased to be off school, or do you wish you could go back to school?
Very pleased, because I kept on getting stop and thinks and getting told off.
Oh, you didn't. You only got a couple of those.
Of course I did. I got 4 stop and thinks, 2 in a day.
Do you miss being at school?
Not at all.
Amelia, do you miss being at school?
I just miss my friends.
Milo's just up the street. Freddie's near Milo.
I know, but you can't see them.
And also, Rafe just around the corner.
I know, but you can't see them. That's the thing.
Of course we can.
No, we can't. We have to stay in our houses, remember? That was part of the rule.
I went down to the park with Milo.
Because you went there for
a
fun run, and you had to be away from each other.
So then why can't we do exercise more often out there?
Because the government have now told us that we have to stay at home more and only go out once for exercise.
That was a year ago.
No, it wasn't. It was a couple of days ago, but I guess in kid world it felt like a year. like. Now, obviously, you guys watching this probably experienced exactly the same thing, but we'd love to hear from you down in the comments what it was like where you are. Did you have similar problems? Was it easy for you to be able to get things? Was there something in particular you were after that you couldn't get? So yeah, let us know down below. But it's good to sort of all share this now. Hopefully that we're coming on the other end of it. I mean, we are still technically in lockdown, aren't we? But
yeah, I mean, it hasn't been lifted completely.
No.
Obviously, you can leave your house now. There are, improvements in terms of being able to meet other people in public spaces or in your garden.
Yeah.
Again, so keeping the social distance, although there is kind of rumors that might be reduced in the next week because it has been 2 meters. There's rumors it might go down to 1. But yeah, it's gotten better, but it's still, I guess it's going to be kind of a new normal because I don't see any of that going away anytime soon, at least for the stores and like public places, right? But we're still holding out hope for like pubs, restaurants, more hospitality things in this next month, like in July next month.
I know that's the thing I think we've really missed is like eating out at a restaurant or something like that, which is
to begin with, everything shut down. It was interesting for me because obviously my family's in the States. And a lot of things still stayed open, like at least for drive-through and takeaway. Like everything shut down here. You couldn't get McDonald's, or you couldn't get anything. Then gradually, a few places, if they could, did takeaway. So we like had a good like pub takeaway, didn't we?
That was really good, actually.
So it just felt. I know this is so stupid, and obviously in comparison to what some people have dealt with, but like just the constant making of every single meal and cleaning up, it felt like such a treat to finally get a takeaway.
And it did feel like that. I remember it because we had a burger and it tasted like the best burger I think we've ever had. It was amazing.
Just because someone else made it. That's the main thing.
Then, obviously, we mentioned in the last video, Oscar. I have one more clip here, which we actually didn't include because I couldn't find it. But it was a lovely little one of just Amelia holding Oscar on the last day. It was on the morning.
I've got some pictures as well.
Yeah, the sad thing about that is we knew very early on in the morning that we had to put him down that day. But the really frustrating thing is we weren't able to do it until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we had all of this like downtime, knowing what we had to do, and there was just a lot of us just like sitting around, being quiet and sort of.
Well, and he was just so not himself as well. So just to have all that kind of time until the afternoon with him just clearly not being well.
And also tying in with the lockdown, we weren't. I don't know if we mentioned this in that last episode, but we weren't actually able to be there at the very, very end with him. So I was able to be there when he had the sort of anesthesia to sort of like knock him out for a bit, obviously, before they gave him
go to sleep.
Yeah, but then that was it. Then they had to go take him in because no one could go into the.
Handed him over to the bed, didn't you? And they. Yeah, well, that was with all the appointments, kind of even leading up to it. You were having to kind of like drop him. They would take him in, do the blood test. So it's definitely. I mean, and you can only imagine, obviously, the pain and stuff we felt with, with our pet, who's obviously loved one and part of our family. But think of all the people with their actual family members and loved ones.
I know, gosh.
People haven't been able to go into the hospital. If someone's been ill or needed treatment, they've not been able to be with them. And then it's absolutely heartbreaking to think of those that have actually passed away and not had their family with them. It's so sad. So that was really rough. But we very quicker than we thought, and this may have to be its own little separate video, but David quickly acknowledged he could not be without a dog. And so
like silly things like when you've been out and you come back, and there's a little face greeting you, and obviously we didn't have that. So yeah, I mean, I had to move pretty quickly on that because I think the kennel club their breeding is only 2 times of the year, as far as I'm aware, and we were coming to a very sort of very closely coming up to the time where it was, I think, at the end of May, where the first one was going to be available. So I contacted a lovely lady in Reading. It was the first one on the list. It was the exact colour that we wanted.
Stars aligned a little bit.
Yeah. If you hear a noise behind us, that is the puppy, and I think we're going to hold off showing him to you until the next video. Obviously, if you follow us on social media, it's all over. We put pictures up and everything, but you'll hear him barking and scratching around and playing. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's our
So
dog.
that helped kind of lift spirits, didn't it,
Yeah.
in lockdown?
But we did
The
have
prospect of a
lots
puppy.
of things to do in the meantime to refocus, especially me, to refocus me. So I was
Oh yeah.
doing stuff around the house. Again, I've got a couple of clips. I was doing drafting, sorting out the draft little tape around doors.
I was like, drafting.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
yeah.
Yeah, I was drafted.
Guttering.
Drafted by the army. No.
Gutter. Yeah, you've been really productive. David's been really good. He did have to keep himself busy, I think, to counterbalance kind of the grief with Oscar. But you, put it to good use. The garden, you made so much progress in the garden.
Yeah, we did start again. I showed clips of that in the last one, but we did. Yeah, there was the guttering, there was the draft, the little tape. There was some cracked thing on our door frame which we fixed. So. I just had to try and do something to focus the time.
It was like every other day an Amazon delivery of some DIY.
Oh, thank
supplies.
heavens for Amazon Prime. That was amazing. Okay, apologies about that. I've just moved the camera back onto the tripod because my arm was killing.
Save your arm.
Yeah. Anyway.
So we were just kind of going into the whole home learning, school, homeschooling situation because I think it was on the 20th of March that they declared schools were closed. People pulled their kids out earlier, definitely at our school, but that was definitely the day they needed to close schools, stop the spread of coronavirus, or to help spread. And everyone was at home. So it's definitely been a huge adjustment because David and I have still been working at home.
Trying to work.
Trying.
As well as teaching the kids. Amry's been the one that's predominantly been doing the homeschooling whilst I've been sort of trying to get... I've been helping now and again, but obviously Amry's been doing the majority of that.
Let me just tell you folks, I am not meant to be a teacher. That is definitely what I've learned.
You've done a good job anyway.
No, it's been fine. We have managed, but some days have gone better than others. We're just doing the best we can, and the teachers and the schools and they're doing the best they can in the support. They're kind of outlining work for the kids each week and checking in with them. But it's been tricky, and I think it's it's been hard on the kids. They've kept in really good spirits, but they've definitely missed school. I think even Amelia said, even though kids sometimes give you a hard time about school, I think when it's actually taken away, they've really missed it, and they've really missed their friends, and they've missed the social aspect of it. And I think it's been hard to kind of adjust to the learning process at home or having your parents teach you. And let's be honest, like so much of the stuff, particularly maths, like you almost have to go back and relearn it to even be of any help to your kids. So that's definitely been tricky. And when you are working as well, it's just the time commitment, alongside it. So anyway, if you've been doing it as well at home, and it's, I think all of us have just been in the same boat. And
hats off to all of the parents out there who homeschool their kids permanently.
But we've done lots of fun things with it. Baking, and we've celebrated VE Day, and
talking
kids,
about baking and VE Day, you've got a video with Amelia of baking.
Just a tiny little thing
we'll put on now. Okay, so in our lockdown kitchen, we are making some scones. Some old English scones are using plain flour instead of self-raising flour. Okay, 2 more I think, well 1 more actually now after that. And then we've got ourselves, how many have we got? 3, 6, 12, 14, we'll have 14 in total. Oven is on 220, it's a slightly older oven unfortunately.
I'm sure I can make one.
Perfect, no that'll be enough Amelia.
That's just, there's loads of little examples. The kids have done lots of fun arts and crafts stuff. So they've been out in the garden. Thankfully, we've just been blessed with such incredible, warm, nice weather. So
it would have been a completely different situation if we would have had rain through that whole time.
Yeah, awful.
I think we would all be in a lot worse position with our mental health.
I think it just kept you upbeat that it was bright, sunny, it was nice. The kids could be outside, and thank heavens we have a garden. Lots of people in this circumstances don't. If you live in a flat or something like that, like you don't have that space. So we've been able to take advantage of that and get out on lots of nice walks. So there's been, and really kind of getting the time with your kids and time as a family. There has been really lovely elements to it. And we have had lots of fun. Yeah, we have had lots of fun. And then we've had our definite days where ready for everyone to go back to school. Yeah. I'm ready to go back to the office, whatever. But everyone's in the same boat and we're just kind of doing the best we can. So what other things though do we kind of want to remember from it?
One thing was also the obviously the NHS has been front and foremost here as well, and there was this thing called clapping for the NHS where everyone went on their doorstep and went outside, and I think we've got a clip of that with you and Amelia out the front, so we'll roll that now. So
yeah, that was just a little clip from, a few seconds from one of the nights. We did that every Thursday at 8 o'clock. And it was just a really sweet thing to kind of go outside. I know it seems just like a little drop in the ocean of like your appreciation, just clapping, but it gave you a minute to kind of connect with your neighbors across the street, and it just was just one of those kind of patriotic kind of.
It felt very
pride.
British, like banging pots and pans on your
Well,
doorstep.
yeah, and it was really nice, and that went on for 10 weeks, and then it kind of like
every Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah, every Thursday, 8 o'clock. So that was something that's really memorable, and other little things that we've kept on top on is like my mum in the States every Wednesday with the kids does a like an art lesson.
Oh yeah.
So that's really something.
So
the
we
kids
have. I think we've got a clip of that as well. Actually, just
at least pictures.
Yeah.
I definitely have pictures. Maybe a couple.
But that was really good because they got to connect with the kids got to connect with their cousins as well as their grandmother.
So the cousins that are in New York City. So again, Zoom was like a new introduction to our life during this.
I'd never heard of Zoom before. I'm all clued into technology, and I'd never heard of Zoom before.
Yeah, but you don't. I guess you're probably more aware. People do a lot of video conferencing, but that's definitely been an introduction to a lot of us. So Zoom has been used, for all this connection. That's what my mum used with teaching the art lessons, but with these classes at school, they connected that way. The kids talk with their friends that way on it. There's even been birthday parties, of which Amelia had her little Zoom birthday party.
Gosh, yeah, we had Amelia's birthday during this whole See, that's the other thing. I mean, it's like when you've been invited to other people's birthday parties, now we've been invited, or the kids have been invited via Zoom. So, they're having to like...
come up with party games and all sorts of...
and classrooms and speaking to their teachers on Zoom as well. I mean, that again, we've got video clips of that as well, but it was just... there's too many. We've got clips of everything, but we can't show everything. But obviously, a lot of you are probably in the same position. It's just surreal.
It's funny how quickly, in such a short amount of time, you've just adapted. You've just adapted in so many different ways, and so many people that didn't think they could work from home before, or working from home, or educating their kids at home, or connecting with their family far away. There's been a lot of kind of firsts and new things, and just ways that you've just kind of got on with it. It's not been ideal. It's not been what you choose to do. And there's things we've kind of missed that we've not been able to do. But in many ways, we've been lucky enough to just kind of get on with it.
Yeah, and we've just dealt with it as well, haven't we?
And still, and still, anyway.
One other thing, we wanted to do a little shout out for a friend of ours called Addie as well, because he had a really good idea where he's an amazing photographer, by the way. In fact, we'll put a little link down below for him as well. He's been doing a really good project where he's been going around to families in our local area. So we live in a town called Hazelmere. He's been going around taking photos of families on their doorstep during lockdown, which is a really great idea because first of all, it's sort of capturing that time, for us. And he's not charging for it, but he's just suggesting that people donate to the Fountain Centre in Guildford, which is he's raised really quite a bit of money. So it's fantastic. It's like a cancer support research, and that's why his wife works in that field as well. So it's amazing fundraising for that. But because he's a super talented wedding photographer, and obviously so many people, probably someone has had their wedding kind of cancelled or postponed, and he's kind of taking his talents and doing amazing kind of fundraising. I've actually just seen as well in our local paper, he's been going around right now since some restrictions are lifting and a lot of shops and businesses are reopening. He's photographing all the businesses in our town. Oh yeah, that's right. And helping businesses get back on their feet as well. Just highlighting businesses, saying when they'll be open, what their hours are, what they do, if they're delivering, just trying to like boost everyone's awareness so we can kind of kickstart, our local economy really again and stuff, and support our community businesses. So he's an awesome guy. That was fun. We'll have to. It was obviously a social distance thing for him to take our picture. He's in our driveway taking it, but anyway, Addie, we'll catch up after when we're allowed to. We do have some footage of that as well. Oh yeah, so we can show that, and as well as the final photo. So here's that.
Let's get the safe shot soon.
Okay, you're gonna be a right-handed puppy.
That's cool. Lovely. 3, 2, 1.
So then I think just sort of wrapping up, really the last thing, which was kind of really surprising for me anyway, being the main driver in our family, is how it's affected petrol and how cheap it is now. I never thought the day would come where petrol would be under £1, but we heard this rumour that petrol was supposedly under £1.
We spotted it.
Yeah, we got in the car on that same day. I'm sorry to say this, but we... that was like our first but we went to Burger
We went to
King,
Burger King.
as it opened, and
Confession session.
yeah, we went and got a takeaway, and then on the way back from that, we found a petrol station that
It
was
was Tesco,
99
yeah,
something.
99p.
Anyway, here's that video. Okay, so we've just been out for a socially distanced takeaway lunch, and
Burger King.
Burger King,
Guilty.
yep.
Hello,
And
burger.
I said to Amry, I wonder if we're going to find a petrol station that's under £1, and we found one. So I want to have this on video so we will always remember. Here we go. Look, 99.9p.
99.9.
Yep, that's it.
Petrol. Definitely the cheapest we've seen that in many years.
So yeah, so that's us up to date. If you're wondering what I've been doing with my hands down here, by the way, I do have the puppy down here, but we are going to show him in the next video, so something to look forward to.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, we're doing this as kind of just like for our own little memory of things. I'm sure during all this probably you relate to a lot of things we've mentioned, and there's been lots of other funny things, or you'll want to look back and be like, oh yeah, remember for that period of time things were a bit different. But you know, people wearing masks everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, gloves, and you know, I mean,
The 2 meter rule. That's the you have to
we
keep 2
mentioned
meters
that,
away from
like
people.
with the grocery stores. I mean,
Yeah.
really, to be fair, we've seen like a myriad of all protection. I mean,
Yeah.
I was at the grocery store, someone had like ski goggles,
Yeah.
everything. So everyone just, you know, make sure you feel safe. But yeah, it's just been really unique period of time. This will be in history. Like we were saying that to the kids. The kids have actually been keeping little kind of like time capsule journals, and it will be something to look back on when they're older and think with their thoughts on it, how they felt, how they've kind of processed everything that's going on. I think for us as a family and as parents, we've just tried to make sure that they still just feel happy and secure, and things are different, and we can't
And that's what
change
their
that,
teachers have said as well. They said, look, we appreciate you won't necessarily be able to get all of the work done, but as long as the kids are happy, and you know, that's the most important thing, which is
because
true.
this can feel overwhelming and scary, and I'm sure for a lot of people it has, but we've been very lucky to be safe at home, and that's where we've been, and things are starting to kind of reopen, and we're getting there. So we're not out of the woods by any means, but we're kind of getting back to little, you know, semblance of normal life. But I don't know if it'll ever be, it's not the same. I think you definitely have a new perspective after you experience something like this, and you kind of view things differently.
And I think communities will be a little bit different, hopefully for the better. So we'll, you know, everyone realizes that, you know, having a little bit more support for each other is going to be an important thing.
I've been so impressed with Hazelmere. They've just so many people like rise to the occasion. Obviously people like Addie raising money. So many different people have raised money, whether it be for the NHS or different causes. Even our own town's like created a free food shop, you know, at Hazelmere Hall. Like so many donations and people just supporting. Yeah, it's helping
helping
just been really
elderly
cool.
people out just by you know, getting them even things like little things of hand sanitizer.
Deliveries, and just then in your local, even just on our street, like everyone was very quick to say if anyone needs help to get in touch, and so that's the kind of spirit that's been nice to see, you know, in a pandemic and all this kind of scary business.
Even going to the supermarket and seeing a load of hand sanitizer, it's very tempting to sort of like bulk buy them, but you realise actually no, you don't need that much. So we would pick up a few of extra ones and just give them to our neighbours. So we did that on a couple of occasions.
But yeah, we're anxious, just like a lot of you, for, you know, restrictions to kind of be lifted as soon as it's safe, because we haven't even seen David's family down in Dorset this whole time.
No,
kids really missing their grandparents.
We've not seen them since January, actually.
Yeah, so that's a long stretch.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful that we can do that soon. But yeah, anyway, we're taking it a week at a time, just like all of you, doing the best we can, trying to stay positive. It's been tough, but there's been lots of good things that have come out of it as well.
Yeah, so I mean, that in a nutshell is our lockdown experience. We just wanted to have something that we've put to camera, that we've said, look, this is what it was like. Obviously we want to hear from you as well. If you had any similar experiences to us, then let us know down in the comments.
Yeah, what you found tricky, or what actually is like been a positive thing to come out of it for your family.
Exactly. We're going to wrap up. Obviously, now this next episode, which is going to be coming out probably quite soon as well, is going to be how we got this guy, Bentley, which is our new dog. So you can find out that that in the next episode, which is coming up. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. As
Thanks,
always, hit that like button, subscribe button, all of that stuff, and we'll see you next time. Bye.